worst film score of the 1980s, I selected Runaway Train by Trevor Jones. Some might say it should have been Andrew Powell's Lady Hawk, but I would argue that the music for Lady Hawk actually wasn't that bad. It was just the wrong music for that picture. Had it been for a follow-up to Grease or Saturday Night Fever, people might feel differently. But getting back to Runaway Train, and I guess the first issue that people might have with this is the fact that it contains music by Vivaldi, specifically Gloria in D major. But that has no relevance in terms of this selection. Why? Because this is mainly to do with, completely to do with Jones's underscore, and that's where the film falls apart. Now, when watching the film, the first 30 minutes has hardly any music at all. It's only upon that first sight of the train we get the techno. So underwhelming. Hated it. And then you get that techno riff, you get some bitty piecey guitar bits, and it's just rubbish. The best music for Runaway Train type pictures that I've come across, well, there's two examples. Lee Holdridge's Atomic Train, and then much later Last Passenger by Liam Bates. The latter really kind of played into more of what Goldsmith did on the Cassandra Crossing, only far more effectively, I thought, by creating sounds and effects that were more like the actual sounds of a locomotive, the rhythms stuff. There's none of that here. There's no reference at all to a locomotive in any of this music. There's no hint of it. In fact, if the film had no music at all, it would have been better for it. In fact, I once had Runaway Train, both the soundtrack released by La La Land Records and the Blu-ray, the Arrow release, which was the reminted sort of like 1080p, you know, the really top-notch picture quality version. And I got rid of it because I thought to myself, I don't want to see this movie with that music. I felt the same about Mission Impossible Fallout with the terrible score by Lorne Balfe. Sometimes the music ruins the picture. In this case, that is how I feel about it, to such an extent that it's just got no replay value, and the idea of watching the film, complete turn off. So there you go, Runaway Train, my pick for the worst film score of the 1980s. Now we move on to the 1970s. Oh boy.